You make the case that what LeBron James is doing right now and what he did in 2007 is greater than anything Michael Jordan did in any of his 6 championship seasons. Expound on that a little bit, will you?
Well, what we're seeing right now is just an absolutely dominating performance and almost a one-man show in the NBA Finals on Cleveland's side in what LeBron James is doing. And he's had to do it because he's lost Kevin Love and Kyrie Irving to injury. So he is, quite frankly, single-handedly carrying this team in the finals and is doing better with less than anything that Michael Jordan had to do during any of his NBA final runs. So if LeBron James is able to win a championship, it will be one of the most heroic performances we've ever seen in NBA history. And it's not to diminish anything that Michael Jordan did, but if there's a player that LeBron James is most compared to, it's Michael Jordan. And when you look at how they've done in the first 12 years, in the first 12 years of their career and what they've accomplished to date, I mean, LeBron James has been every bit as good as Michael Jordan in the playoffs, but the difference does come down to the supporting cast. I mean, Michael Jordan had Scottie Pippen, like you said, Horace Grant, Dennis Rodman for a time. I mean, those are top 50 players, and when LeBron James has had a player that caliber in Dwayne Wade, he's won championships, but most of the time he hasn't. And as I said, the individual performances, pretty close to being identical. Supporting cast, completely different, and that's what's been the difference for Michael Jordan.
Yeah, Neil, I think people tend to forget that Michael Jordan, as great as he was, still had Scottie Pippen, one of the top 50 players of all time. He had Horace Grant, who was an all-star. He had Dennis Rodman for the last 3, and Rodman is also a Hall of Famer. But LeBron, outside of Miami, really hasn't had those guys next to him. What LeBron did in '07 and what LeBron is doing now in Cleveland, getting these teams to the NBA Finals and having a chance to win, is that, in your mind, near miraculous?
It certainly is, and it's something that we haven't seen. I mean, we've seen Shaquille O'Neal have dominant performances. We've seen Barkley have dominant playoff performance. We've certainly seen Michael Jordan have them. But again, I mean, the supporting cast in Cleveland's case, in this particular finals, is hands down inferior to anything that we've seen before. And, you look at some of the players that have stepped up, like, Dellavedova and Shumpert. I mean, those are quality role players, but they're not going to be on anybody's top NBA player list. But again, I mean, Michael Jordan had those type of players. And what we're seeing right now from LeBron is, quite frankly, miraculous.